There's no doubt that the Winfield State of Origin has become the annual highlight for rugby league fans. Since it all began in 1980, interstate rivalry has built to fever pitch as the best players in Australia battle for supremacy under the lights here at Lang Park and the Sydney Cricket Ground. The New South Wales and Queensland Rugby League, together with Winfield, have produced this historic videotape that captures the highlights of every torrid clash from 1980 to 1985. State of Origin Rugby League, the very best the big game has to offer.
Prior to the State of Origin series, New South Wales-Queensland clashes were always a one-sided affair, with the Blues regularly walloping their northern neighbours. But things soon changed when the Sydney-based Queenslanders donned the maroon jumpers for the first time back in 1980. And here's how it all began in front of a big, loud, sellout crowd at the Northern Battleground. Let's have a look at the Queensland side, and boy, are there some familiar names amongst their famous backline. Scott, Bowstead, Meninga and Close, and how about Wally Lewis with Hare at lock, and of course Big Artie at the helm. For New South Wales, a pretty slick backline too, with the Australian centre pair of Cronin and Rogers, tough as teak Tommy Radonicus at halfback leading the side, and Big Craig Young up front to lead the charge.
Big Artie in the maroon of Queensland and captain. Well, there's no doubt about it. Arthur is excited about leading a Queensland team for the first time, and real professional that he is, he'll want it to be a winning team. The referee in this evening's fixture, Mr. Billy Thompson from England. And away they go. Queensland running from left to right in their maroon. New South Wales receiving the ball. Bretnell in possession. He's playing on the left wing, the Canterbury Bankstown centre. Thompson at dummy half. There's Hamley's first touch, and he got a high one right on. Back to Graham Eadie. Big Artie comes pouring through. It's not a great kick. Bouncing around, taken by Scott. It's Meninga. High. 2 points. Queensland first blood after 2 minutes. On the halfway line. Well, he just got up and dropped it, and the referee's not watching and allowed play to go on. Oh, bless my soul. Well, we've got referees out here that can miss things like that. Craig Young. Well, there you are. For those doubting Thomases that said they wouldn't get stuck in, Craig Young's been picked up bodily and thrown back. Cronin, beautiful pass. Eadie flicked it nicely to Cronin. Cronin on the boil. Goes up midfield. Now he's got it up to Lease. Lease has got it away to Edge. Edge out to Bretnell. It's a try, is it? Yes. It's a try. Now that pass was miraculously pulled in by Cronin. Eadie's dummy, and this one-handed flick. Away to Cronin again. The defence fell for his one-handed pass, or his one-handed dummy. And Stephen Edge did so well there. Little doubt about the try. Still 15 metres out. 4-3, Queensland lead. 2 penalties to a try. Beats it on the blind side of the ruck. Back inside to Lewis. Lewis, quick hands. Out to Smith now it goes. To Meninga, out to Close. Close is round his man. Got it away to Bowstead. And Bowstead's in the corner. It's a great try. Good work, Queensland. Splendid work. The crowd have gone absolutely berserk here at Lang Park. From head on, you'll see the way Rogers was beaten a little bit more clearly. Good pass there. Clever stuff. Little bits of subtlety like that are needed in Queensland. Now, Rogers came up too quickly, and a slight change of direction was all that was required. Eadie's tackle was evaded. He's not going to go far. Lease to dummy half. Out to Eadie, who called for it. He's made a break, half break, just outside the quarter. A good little bit of running there from Eadie. Brentnell, a dummy half. Hamley. Tear-away sort of a player. Edge. Rodonigus. Cooper. Cooper got his pass away nicely to Cronin. Cronin surging away, lobs a long one out to Rogers, who pulls it out of the air, gets it to Anderson, comes inside the defence. And good defence too from Queensland. They had plenty of cover there. Good work from Cooper. Got himself involved in the game. Craig Young held his pass up beautifully to Lease. Lease striding forward, looking for support. 8 metres away. Rogers was on the inside, but to his dismay, no pass was forthcoming. Rodonigus out to Cronin, a long pass and a bad one. Oh, it's picked up. No, it's not. Eddie leaves it behind. And it had no right to pick it up. It was right round his boots. Kerry Boosted falls on it, and Queensland are off the hook temporarily. It's all done so easily and simply. And look at that. Beautiful again. That's 5 from 5. 13 to 5. Queensland lead. 12 and a half minutes of the second half. Morris all over Stone there like the plague. Beats it. Beautiful pass back to Lang. Unloads to Meninga. Nicely to Close. Close accelerates and does beautifully right through the gap. He's beaten Evie pointless. It's under the post for him. Or to the right. A great try from a standing start. Graham Eadie didn't get within a bull's roar of him. It'll show even worse on the head-on. And the Queensland crowd loving every minute of it. Now watch this again. I point out the standing start situation. Actually, he slipped. Evaded Jim Lease. Well. Edge. Anderson. And down he goes to the applause of the crowd. Edge. Hamley. Now we're going to have a Queensland player caution for a head high. Arthur Beecham. Cronin. And there's another head high. The referees missed that one. Again from Arthur. Thompson. Beautiful run from Cooper on the burst, but he can't release his arms. He's dropped the ball. No, he hasn't. Well, Thompson's just not watching the play of the ball. He's watching and warning players to stand onside. And that's not part of his function. He doesn't have to warn players. He penalises them if they're offside. This is a very ordinary refereeing performance. Rodonigus. Hamley. Taken high again. There's a try to Rodonigus. Off a Stephen Edge pass. Third again. Nothing dramatic about it. It was good drafting football. They've got New South Wales up to there. Rodonigus. And the kick at goal is successful from Cronin. There's the hooter. The crowd comes on. The referee has called the game off.
So the underdogs from up north set the Sydney Slickers back on their heels with a gutsy 20 points to 10 victory in the inaugural State of Origin clash, setting the stage for some ferocious interstate rivalry to come. The packed grounds and huge TV audiences would ensure that from this moment on there would always be a place in rugby league for State of Origin football. This year also heralded the start of one of the most amazing eras in the history of rugby league, when Wally Lewis first filled the captain's boots in his beloved number 6 jumper. For New South Wales, two of the biggest wingers to play the game, with Eric Groth and Terry Fay, and the very young Peter Sterling at half for the first time. Also, Peter Tunks makes his representative debut in the second row with Les Boyd.
Right up the middle here, Barry, just hang about. We've got the Queenslander. Jensen, Rogers, elects to put the bomb up. There's pressure. Brennan loses it. Oh, and it's kicked. That was Canescu. Henrik, the bomb. It's danger. Oh, in plenty of inroads. On the blind side they go. Canescu. Well, he lost the ball. It's been picked up by Growth. I think you can put the glasses down. Nobody in this Queensland side will catch him, perhaps. We shall see. On the quarter line he comes. It's a magnificent run. He's going to get through the tackle. He's crawling. It may be a try. The referee, the touch judge has ruled he wasn't into touch.
Well, Queensland get their first taste of the Parramatta powerhouse. Eric Growth as he busted a fence and sprints away for New South Wales' first try.
There's Sterling gone into a gap that loomed large, and Cronin's under the post, does he know? Just a bit to the right.
And it didn't take long for the para connection of Price, Sterlo and the Crow to combine, putting New South Wales further ahead.
Yes, well, Cronin answers the critics. Price is dummy half. Now to Sterling. Cronin. Sterling. Little man evades one tackle. Got a pass beautifully to Fay. Fay through one. Through two, into touch. That's a good decision by the... Your big night for that man. If he happens to coincide with our award. Oh, Eric Growth right through. Look at this. Second try.
And again, it's para power with little Sterling combining with Ray Price to send the Guru on his way for his second try of the match.
Now. Henry. Out to Khan. Oh, they're coming well now. McCabe throws a pass. It's a try to them too. And it's Backer in.
But it didn't take long for Queensland to hit back, with speedy second rower Paul McCabe running wide to set Brad Backer up for the Maroons' first try.
View. It's coming back. It's a match by Hancock and Price. Okay, a good pass there to Scott. Play about 10 score. Queensland spinning it wide. Oh, a little bit of just shepherding there by Khan, but he's out to Brennan. Brennan's going to score. No, he's not. Growth comes from behind and picked him up in foot. There we go, wide. Lewis. Lewis through the gap. He could score. He's going to score. Yes.
And the first of many dashing runs by King Wally, adjacent to the post to take Queensland to the lead.
I think he's got it. Yeah. Tonight. It's a good clean scrum into Queensland. Scott through. Still going. Up the middle of the field. Growth coming at him. Rogers coming at him. He's got him. Growth, a magnificent tackle. Only about 3 metres out. And I think it's a try.
This time a great run by long-serving fullback Colin Scott to set up Queensland's third try by the strapping centre Chris Close.
Meninga. There. Lewis, a little kick through. Sigsworth got to take the odds for the bounce. It's Queensland again, it's been kicked through. Meninga has it. He's going to score. He's been held down. Should be a penalty try, I think.
A penalty try of all things to Mal Meninga, set up by one of Lewis's perfectly judged chip kicks, seals the match for Queensland. So Queensland make it 2 in a row, and what has become the highlight of the rugby league calendar. 1982 saw the introduction of the best-of-3 series to decide the state's supremacy, with every game attracting huge parochial crowds and massive media attention. Queensland make a few changes with Johnny Rebo on the wing and the dynamic duo of Lewis and Mark Murray the halves. And of course, Paul Fatty Borton in the maroon jumper for the first time. For New South Wales, high-flying Greg Brettle makes his first appearance at fullback, and Ziggy Niscott and Chris Anderson also making their debuts. Magical Steve Mortimer takes over as halfback with the likeable Maxi Krilich, the new captain.
To the bomb. Brettle there, the ball's bounced, nobody wants it, who's got it? Brettle gets it away to Mortimer. Mortimer's got it out to Muggleton, Muggleton's going hard and close, pass back inside to...
Yes, it was a young Ziggy Niscott in to score the first of his 2 tries off a Mortimer bomb in a memorable debut.
Great form. From the sideline. Over it goes. A player who's a three-quarter. Beautiful pass to this one. He's in. Oh, yeah.
Yes, there it is. The Novocastrian Ziggy Niscott's second try off a good ball by John Muggleton.
Coming back. Coming back. It's there. The runner. Mortimer. 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 Yes.
The first glimpse of Mortimer magic, doing it all by himself to put the Blues on the road to victory.
His 4th attempted goal. Been successful the previous 3. And both up again. Put the kicker off, but that doesn't seem to interfere with Meninga's accuracy. Player who broke tackles by spinning his body. Well done, Dowling. Meninga. Good step. Into the clear. Mortimer. He's evaded 3 tackles. It's away to both ends. Tackles there. Comes back on the inside. Long pass. Johnny Rebo.
The long, the short of it. Meninga and John Dowling do the hard stuff, while little Bowie hands it to the tall, striding Johnny Rebo.
Here's Meninga on the fly again. He's got Rebo on the outside. Crosses him off. It's a try, must be. Brennan. And Brennan in again. That one won't be missed.
Meninga again, brushing off defenders like flies to set up the speedy Mitch Brennan. The flyer who sent the first pass to get the motor running.
Mortimer. Long pass. Oh, beautifully to his hard. His hard's in.
And there it is, the step, the pass, the deception of Mortimer to put Big Brad Izzard over to seal the match for the Blues. Well, the Blues finally taste victory with their first win under State of Origin rules. And what a series we've got in our hands. Lane Park's chocker, and Queensland are red hot for revenge, desperate to stop the Blues from winning the series. Queensland keep their side virtually intact, apart from Brad Backer in on the wing and Norm Carr, their new lock, in place of Borton. New South Wales too have only made 2 changes, with pacey Brad Izzard, the new centre, and young Tony Melrose out on the wing.
Mortimer cuts out a man. Thompson. Price quickly to Melrose. He hasn't got the pace to get round Rebo, but he does well and is tackled into touch. I think it is the fight of the century from Las Vegas, Nevada. Queensland on the move. Good pass there out to Rebo. Mortimer comes at him and takes him in a copybook tackle. There you can throw this over. Graham Quinn, Murray pops a pass up to Khan. Back inside to Dowling. Dowling nearly through the gap, gets it away there to Miles. Miles sprinting for the line. It'll be a try.
But look out, New South Wales. Here comes Big Gene Miles in for his first try. And what an impact he was to have over the next few years.
They're putting away from Muggleton. Queensland moving it well. Paul Khan pops a pass over the top to Rebo. Breaks one tackle. 2. Price has got him by the jumper and pulls him back. Clive Thompson. Out to Rogers. Now to Izzard. Izzard busts the tackle. He's through. He's up to the corner. He's sprinting like a champion. He's going. He's there.
Newcomer Brad Izzard shows he's got plenty of pace to square things up.
Dowling. Long pass from Khan to Rebo. Rebo's in the corner. That's a great try.
Rebo shows his strength and speed. How would you like to tackle him on the boil?
5 yards off centre. Struck that well. There's the error situation. It is New South Wales 11, Queensland 7. Pretty useful. Lewis. Carr. Rebo! In the clear and flying.
He's got a leg problem at the moment. I think something.
Well, he should come off the field. Ray Price. Now he's got the ball. He's running well. Back on the inside to Mortimer. Mortimer. Beautifully there. Back to Niscott. Niscott running into a wall of defenders. Melrose. Straight over. So, that was Niscott who came up with it. Kenny now out to Izzard. He's handed off his man. Comes back in field. That was good work by the young man. Run it from wherever. There's a bomb. It's well directed. It's high. Right on the line. Oh, Bretnell flew.
As the pressure builds up, Greg Bretnell flies high to save the Blues temporarily.
Morris got a pass away. Who's got it? Fumbles. Rowan Hancock to his feet. He's got it away to Bond. Bond's in.
A juggling act from the forwards. Fatty Vorton picks up the ball to seal victory for the Maroons. The series is tied at 1-1, vindicating the decision to make it a best-of-3 series. The deciding match of the exciting series comes to Sydney for the first time, and the locals come out in droves to see if the Blues can knock the northern enemy off their high horse. New South Wales have a new look forward pack with Paul Merlot, Roy Saylor and the Bears' Donnie McKinnon on there to stiffen things up. And of course, the brilliant Brett Kenny gets his first run at 5'8". In the Queensland team, Mitch Brennan is at fullback and John Rebo back on the wing. And the only other change, Mal Meninga back in the centres after returning from injury.
1-1 in the Winfield decider in the State of Origin. Queensland kick off. They'll be running from left to right. And Sigsworth in possession for the New South Wales team. Runs into a pretty hefty tackle. The referee, Mr. Don Wilson of Queensland, appeared to me, Barry Ross, to be laying down the law to both the captains before the game.
Yes, he did. He had something to speak to both teams in the dressing room before the game. He's a referee that Australian fans do know. He refereed the first test here last year against France in Brisbane.
Queensland inside the 5. Now, what about just on his quarter? Hancock. Swinging right arm there. Penalty to Queensland. Punches thrown. A little bit of a melee taking place here. Both sets of forwards come charging in. Ray Price has got a Queenslander by the back, pulling him out of it. Just a little bit of panic, a little bit of urgency to get rid of that ball. Need to settle the play down a little bit. Murray, little step. He's got himself into the clear. There should be a try. It will be. Rowan Hancock underneath the post or beside them. And a great run from Murray. Got himself into a situation with 2-on-1. He drew the fullback, unloaded the pass, and Hancock had the pace to make the sprint. See it again. Now watch Les Boyd go up and get spread eagle here. Well, that was a bad bit of football. Rowan Hancock showing the way to the try line. There's Les Boyd. He slips and falls again for the second time. Right on the halfway line. And there's a little bit of an altercation between Boyd and Dowling, I think it is. The play goes on, touch judges in. Boyd and Dowling both may get sin binned out of this. It's on for young and old there with these two. They just plain dislike each other by the look of it. Mortimer. Les Boyd. Throws it to no one. Merlot's got it. Steve Mortimer. Aleph. Managed to flop a pass back inside to Steve Mortimer. The little fella screams away. Out there to Merlot. Out to Kenny. Kenny away to Cronin. Cronin out to Duke. Duke's going to get there. Yes, it's a try to Duke. It's a try. See it again from head on. Now this is the situation that gave the try. The Aleph unloading of the pass. Now, good work there, just chain passing. There was always a try on so long as everybody caught it and gave it correctly. Izzard dropped out, left Duke. Now, watch him put it down. Did he get it down correctly is what I'm interested in. Cronin's kick is just away by about 2 yards to the left, so the score now remains Queensland 5, New South Wales 3. Playing into the breeze, Aleph. Cronin, beautifully tackled by Dowling. Mortimer. Brad Izzard, long floating pass out to Duke. Duke to Rebo, and Rebo comes high and takes him round the head. The crowd enjoyed that penalty. After 11 minutes, New South Wales get into an attacking position. McKinnon. Dowling's having a top game. He's involved in everything. A good tackle there. And another good tackle by him, right round the legs again on Aleph. Now Kulich, Mortimer, dummies. Beautiful. Oh, hard. Beautifully tackled there by Lewis. There's Fay, Izzard. Oh, and another stopping tackle by Carr. Stopped him dead on his tracks. New South Wales determined that they'll contain the big fella. Murray. Lewis kicks the position. It's gone straight downfield. I don't know that he intended it to go there. Sigsworth feels it in the in goal. Oh, and he's taken beautifully and stopped in his tracks by McCabe. Loses the ball. It's a try. Lewis. Well, that's the luck of the draw. An awful blunder. That won't do either of those lads any good in the long term, let me tell you. Sigsworth. To pass the ball like that in your in goal is, well, just not on. And Duke didn't make himself look very adroit in that situation. And full marks to Lewis to get there in time. This is directly in front. He should kick this right up into the Bradman stand. Nice and easy. And easy as it takes. New South Wales 3, Queensland 10. And that's the support's fault. They should have lined themselves on the ball carrier. Opponent. Oh, terrible pass, but beautifully laid on there. Finally out to Duke. He's got a bit of pace up the sideline. Rebo comes at him, and Rebo settles him down over the sideline. If he gets a belt in the face with the ball, he's trouble. It's Kenny. Sigsworth. Getting a little bit of momentum up now. Over. Got it away to Boyd. Boyd belting his way towards the line. He's about 2 yards out. That was good defence. Dowling probing like a mole there. Morris running offside. Doesn't make much difference there. Well, look at Rebo on the left here. He's directly in line. He was so far offside. Boyd. Boyd. A yard and a half away. Price. He's over the line but can't get it down. He's no try. Held up, scrum it down. Probably 40 seconds to go. Ray Price. There's Boyd at dummy half. Mortimer. Bad pass, puts up a bomb. Izzard comes through, they all leap. Who's got it? Izzard's got it. That's been knocked on. Referee quite adamant about that. We're going to continue with the scrum and not look at the replay on that. Well, here we go. Oh, well, it's just a mess. We couldn't see it from there. Well, the bell's going to go any second now. Dying moments at the game. The hooper should go any minute. We reckon it's gone 15 seconds over. That's a second row feed. It's got to be a penalty. Price runs round, knocks it out of Murray's hands, takes the tap. Mortimer. Way to McKinnon. Got to keep the ball alive. There's the hooter. Referee's not heard it. Way to Price. The kick goes up in the air. Bowstead stands his ground, takes it well. It's a win to Queensland. And a deserving win.
Can you believe it? Not even the home crowd advantage can get the Blues home. For the third year in a row, Queensland win the War of the States. The Parramatta connection is completed with Brett Kenny in the centres, playing inside Eric Grove. Sterlo is at halfback and Price at lock. Wayne Junior Pearce makes his first appearance for the Blues. For Queensland, fullback Colin Scott wins back his spot, as does Paul Vaughton, who joins the all-new pack of forwards.
Let out by Wally Lewis, and listen to that crowd. And the rampaging Les Boyd in the second row. Barry Gomersall signals time on, and we're off and running in the Winfield State of Origin Series for 1983. And Brentville making his intentions clear, playing it in Queensland's half. Already a kicking duel. Gene Miles returning the kick. Now, first Queensland attack. Lewis putting it on the ground. Look at those tackles. Darryl Bronan, the recipient of some heavy tackling. Stacks on the mill. And New South Wales ball. Chris Anderson in centre field, just on the halfway mark. Gerard. Caught by Vaughton and Niebling. Sterling's kick is a good one, taken by Scott. Tessman, the front row forward, running off Roman. Roman again with the kick. Straight down there for Brendel. Rescue with the free kick. Lewis. Roman. Tessman losing it. Picked up by Needling. Fullerton Smith. Late inclusion in the side with the withdrawal of Paul McCabe. Murray. Canescu. Inside for Thornton. Thornton beat one tackle. He's got Lewis with him. And Lewis scores! There it is. Canescu passed to Thornton. And Thornton beat the tackle of Gerard. Looked for support. Heard the call for Wally Lewis, and the Queensland skipper over for the first try of the match.
Eric Grove pats it and runs. The Queenslanders marking Grove very, very heavily tonight. Krilich on to Bugden. Bugden doesn't make any territory. They wrapped up quickly. Froman, the major tackler there. Tessman doing a lot of work too. Here's Gerard turning to unload but can't. This Queensland defence very, very good. Boyd, Les Boyd. Boyd still going, looking to unload, he does. And New South Wales so close, about half 3 centimetres out from the line. Sterling. Now it comes out along the line. There's plenty of players to burn. They make the break. They've got a chance. New South Wales, but great tackle. Oh, Sigsworth barreled. Colin Scott came in and hit him.
Lewis. Wayne Pearce giving it away to Sterling. That's the quarter line, you can see. Krilich. Pearce. Oh, Queensland defence good. Vorton in there. Gerard. Back with Krilich on to Price. "20 metres out from the Queensland line. Thompson. Along the ground, picked up by Revo for Queensland. Gives a don't argue to Eric Grove, but Grove puts him down. Meninga, blindside. The big fella made 10 metres. Now Broman. Oh, and a penalty to Queensland. That'll be against an elbow used in that tackle. Les Boyd the offender. Watch it. Oof. Elbow to the side of the face.
Krilich. They put it down again, New South Wales, though, so they're putting a lot of ball on the ground, Arthur, and they can't afford to do that with this side. There's a good break again from Wally Lewis. Makes another raid downfield almost to the 22. Plays it back to Murray. Canescu. The runners are coming for Queensland. There's Arthur Beetson, still a concerned look at his face. And Les Boyd is off. Sent Les Boyd off. 10 minutes in the sin bin, Les Boyd. Well, Les Boyd, 10 minutes in the sin bin. He's had a fiery start. Watch the incident. There it goes. Oh, the big swinging arm from Boyd, and that's the second time he's been caught. Oh, straight over the head of Needling. About 12 metres out from New South Wales line. Murray looking for a runner. Jigs back inside, taken by Sterling. Canescu. He's dangerous from there. Has a go-to, but about 2 metres short. Fifth tackle, Queensland. Watch for the bomb. Now they're going to go from there, and they're in. Oh, it's so easy. Wally Lewis has gone underneath for another try. Queensland in from dummy half through Wally Lewis. And look at the crowd. Well, watch this. Wally Lewis, the master, straight through some dreadful defence. That was Ray Price. He got through. And Wally Lewis in for number 2.
Now New South Wales with a tap right on the Queensland quarter line. Krilic. A dummy to Gerard and went back to Bugden. Oh. A bell ringer from Dave Brown. Growth. Beautifully caught by Tessman. Krilic. Almost to the 10-metre mark. Sterling. A good ball for Boyd. Boyd looks for Growth, who picks it up beautifully and scores. New South Wales in for their first try. Clever piece of football. Eric Growth, barnstorming winger from Parramatta, to put New South Wales first points on the board. Watch Sterling. Clever bit of play from the halfback. Took the tackle. Found Boyd. Boyd got it back there for Growth. It was meant to go to him on the full, I'm sure. But Growth very cleverly picked it up on the bounce. And in for New South Wales, first try. Bill Sigsworth. Looks good, looks good, it looks very good. And it's right between the posts.
Tackled by Konescu. Max Krilic. Can this New South Wales side come alive now? Here's Price. Boyd. Gerard. Here's Pearce. Here's Pearce. Out the open spaces is Pearce. A great break. Oh, and an equally good tackle. And he's lost the ball. And Murray comes away with it for Queensland.
The only effective tackler for New South Wales is young Pearce. He's going low all the time.
Dave Brown with a barging run. And the two big men meet, Bugden and Brown. Wally Lewis with a long flatter out for Stacey. Stacey inside the 22. Gets a pass away too, but goes to ground. And Bretnell dives on it for New South Wales. Ray Price at dummy half. Goes to Sigsworth. And on to Boyd. Mr. Finch wrapping up Boyd with Dave Brown and Vaughton. And Liebling in there too. The Manly connection. And Vaughton walking all over Boyd then too. Oh, and there's a bit of backslap goes on. Two teammates, Dave Brown and Vaughton. 5 minutes for Dave Brown, he's off. High kick taken by Queensland though. A nice take too. Well, Colin Scotty and Maurice, they've said he's a little suspect, but by G's big safe tonight, there's the half-time hooter.
Back inside for Bugden. I thought he played very well when he was after that injury. Arthur showed a lot of courage. Now it's the last tackle for New South Wales, right on the Queensland quarter. Sterling, the bomb, pressure for Colin Scott and for Wally Lewis and Stacey. He's made a mess of it, Stacey, and New South Wales picked it up by Thompson, claiming the try, but referee says no, sir. Well, Stacey went up for it and made a mess of it. It was an awkward kick to take, certainly. Thompson was right there, but the Queensland defence converging on him held him up.
Murray's had the better of the game so far. Sterling's had put in a poor performance tonight.
Meninga chasing the kick. Where will it bounce? It bounced for Brittle. Oh, Brittle hit with a bell ringer from Meninga. Now Growth. Look at the big fella Growth. Straight through the defence up to halfway. That was a good run from Eric Growth. Boyd. There's a replacement in the New South Wales side now. Ray Price is limped from the field. And Ray Brown is on for New South Wales. That's him with the ball. Ray Brown, reserve grade hooker with Manly, replacing Ray Price. We'll check the forward reshuffle for you. As Kenny got a good pass out there for Growth.
Just after half-time, he was tackled pretty heavily and went down on his knees, so Ella on, Thompson off. And I thought Thompson's had a pretty quiet game, Arthur.
Yeah, it's very disappointing, Alan Thompson's performance.
Here's Kenny for New South Wales, the fire, turns it back, oh, he couldn't get away. Oh, good run from Kenny, but great defence from Queensland. Rebo.
Still inside there at 22 as Lewis crashes into the defence. Oh, it's on. It's on. Punches being thrown. Canescu in there. Boyd pushing him off. An unusual role for Boyd.
Sterling. Now Jeff Buckley playing it. Max Kilic trying to link up with a runner in Kenny, but he couldn't get his arms free. Sterling. Ella in for New South Wales. He's there. He's there. Steve Ella, the man that we believe should have been on from the start, with his brilliant acceleration, just running around to put the ball down for New South Wales. Watch a run around with Peter Sterling out of one tackle, off that left foot, and still going further away as the defence converged, but Ella in for the Blues.
Queensland in front, 5 minutes to go. Tedeschi gets up with a bit of a grin on his face.
Be a drop goal here, I'd say, from Wally Lewis. They've drafted their way forward. That could be on any time now.
Watch for it. Goes back to Murray. Murray opens him up. Murray's in! Oh, so easy! Murray opened him up like a tin of 4X on the hill, and he's gone in, and that'll wrap it up for Queensland. Oh, look at the emotion. Wally Lewis kissing and hugging. Queensland come in. It's a night of emotion here at Lang Park. Well, have a look at Murray. He had a look. He was going to dart back inside. He saw the gap. New South Wales hung off, and he's over for another 4 points. And I think that might have won him a green and gold jumper too. The chip goes through, it's all over, and the kids pour under the ground. Absolutely pouring on in this crowd. 24 points to 12. Queensland has defeated New South Wales.
The rain hasn't dampened any of the enthusiasm, with 21,000 drenched fans turning up to see if the Blues can square the series. The Super Sopper has drained enough water off to fill your swimming pool. Still, conditions are atrocious, and New South Wales desperate to try and salvage some rugby league pride. For New South Wales, country forward Paul Field makes his debut, as does prop Lindsay Johnston, in a completely revamped side that sees only 2 players from the last match. Queensland have brought in Big Dave Brown to add some weight to their pack, and of course there's that giant backline of Meninga, Miles and Close.
For round 2 of the Winfield State of Origin series. As Scott runs it back toward the 22, brought down quickly. And this New South Wales defence is pretty eager tonight, coming in pretty quickly already. Miles playing it back to Canescu. There's Lewis with a kick. Mardiger having his first touch in representative football, wrapped up quickly by the Maroons.
I think the point was that Kenny was getting up very quickly, and Wally had a little look.
Great opportunity for the Blues. Sterling comes away from the scrum base, 10 metres out from the Queensland line. Price. A dummy. Price now is only 3 metres out from the Queensland line. Brown inside the field, 2 metres short of the line. Pressure now from New South Wales. Queensland defence equal to the occasion. Still 5 metres out. Nick Cronin plays it. Sterling, Kenny, a grubber kick through. Close is back there for it for Queensland. But the Blues have him close to his own end goal. And the fans love it.
Queensland running onto it harder now with Gene Miles. Good tackle from Sterling. Right on the fringe of this mud, Canescu. Long pass from Lewis out to Murray. There's Colin Scott. Here's an overlap from Meninga. The big fella puts on the pace. Breaks one. Chance for Queensland. Meninga will go into the corner. Great try, Queensland. Mal Meninga. Watch it again. There's the pass from Lewis to Murray. Murray picked up Colin Scott. Got round Kenny. Meninga puts on the pace, set up the inside man, but didn't need him. Broke the tackle of Ella. And the big fella strode down to put 4 points on the board for Queensland. Mal Meninga, the big centre from Queensland. There it goes, and it's hooked back in all the way. So Queensland now leading New South Wales 6 points to 0. And a fellow that Arthur has been pushing his barrel for some time now, Lindsay Johnson, has unloaded 2 or 3 times well in this game.
He's only a boy of 21, and I believe he shows enormous potential.
Right, New South Wales on the attack now. Runners coming through.
Great line of defence, Darryl.
Niebling and Brown, but gee, it's solid defence, isn't it? Ray Brown, Sterling. So they go along this Cronin with a nice pass out for Marty Gurr, but wrapped up by Close.
That's experience from Close there. Ball and all there on Gurr.
It's the 4th tackle for New South Wales now. They're running out of room and tackles.
What you said earlier, Darryl, they're very flat in attack. You can have a look at it again from that high shot.
Sterling with a kick. Another well-placed bomb. They charge through for it. Scott's underneath it. Takes it well. Courageous take from the Queenslander. New South Wales were pouring through.
Well, this Scott's been criticised over the years for not being able to take pressure kicks, and look at this for pressure. Blue jumpers coming from everywhere, and cool as you like. Took it well. Lewis's kick for Neil Hunt. 32 metres out Hunt from his own line. That's support from Gurr, but Gurr really had to stretch to pull that one in. Scores locked at 6-all. Ray Price. An amazing athlete. Jeff Gerard and Ray Brown. Back for Johnson. Now it's Gavin Miller. Back to Price. And away goes Marty Gurr. Into the clear. Just Scott to beat. The kick ahead from Gurr. A chase for the ball. Who's got it? Nick Cronin's there. Eric Groth's there. Nobody's got it. Ella's picked it up, and Ella's gone over to score. Look at Gosha, and he says that's a try. Watch it. Gavin Miller was there. Ray Price, who's everywhere. Then Marty Gurr made the break. Came to Colin Scott. This kick, a shoulder charge from Scott, may have earned him a penalty had he not scored the try. Then a race for the ball. Cronin was there. Groth was there. Close was there for Queensland. Close couldn't gather it in. Groth tried to pick it up, went between his legs. Ella was Johnny on the spot, and Ella was over for the try. Who cares? New South Wales scored. We'll check the positions for you as Cronin moves in, hits it. It looks good to me, but just to the side of the post. How close that was. The score, New South Wales 10, lead Queensland 6.
But Queensland back on the attack. Ganescu, Murray.
Look at the burst of Meninga then.
Gorton. He's dangerous, Gorton there. But they belt him down through Price. Ganescu. Here's Meninga. Oh, he's through Ella again. Unloads this time to Vorton. Vorton on the Niebling, and Niebling so close. They hold him up. Oh, and Queensland on the boil now. Murray on the Lewis. Lewis is in. Oh, it's a penalty to New South Wales, though. Oh, look at Lewis throw the ball down. Not happy at all.
Sending Close back for it. Beat one tackle. Good run from Close. Still going. He's in New South Wales territory now. Goodness me, that is a good run from Chris Close.
He's had a big game tonight. He's stopped 2 certain tries and came onto the ball very well.
Now here's Dave Brown in possession. Queensland's not done yet. Murray. Lewis. Miles. Miles over the corner. Got it to Butler, and Butler's put it down. Oh, Terry Butler from the Wynnum Manly Club in Brisbane. Putting the ball down.
They're doing everything right. They're moving this ball well and wide, and Miles had this game pretty well sewn up, but a little bit of inexperience then from Butler caused the ball to go out of time.
And what a blinder Mr. Sterling had, winning him the Man of the Match award and keeping New South Wales hopes alive for the decider in Brisbane. Only 4 points in the last one, and now the Blues face the awesome task of trying to snatch the series in front of a very vocal and hostile Lang Park crowd. Only 2 changes to the Queensland team. Mitch Brennan comes in on the wing and the stocky Steve Stacey is on the other flank. For New South Wales, a number of changes with Chris Anderson on the wing for the injured Eric Grove and Steve Mortimer takes over as halfback.
The Winfield State of Origin decider is underway. New South Wales in possession. Chris Anderson taking the ball up. These first few tackles will be heavy. Gavin Miller. Lindsay Johnson. You'll see plenty of that tonight. Plenty of kicking was Gavin Miller. Down for Colin Scott for Queensland. Chris Anderson there to make the tackle. 10 metres out from the New South Wales line. A planned move. Who has it? Morton. A good set move from Queensland. Still 10 metres outside the New South Wales line. Scott. 3 metres out. Pressure for New South Wales. Murray. A step. And a try. A try to Queensland. Greg Tedescu was there to take that pass for Murray. Now here's Murray. And Lewis. A gap for Lewis. Deep one. Lewis has got full support doing Murray. Murray's away. Can they get to him? Kenny dives and gets him. Inches from the line. Queensland on the attack again, but they get the penalty. An angled kick. He's missed one. That one looks good to me, and it's right between the posts. Trouble for New South Wales. Queensland lead 8 points to 0. Last tackle for Queensland. And Lewis's kick is a good one into the open spaces. And Lewis almost picked it up, but Meninga has. Meninga by the corner line. He's got supporting Brennan. He won't need it. Meninga will score. No try. Oh, Meninga bombed it. Well, Meninga had plenty of support in Brennan. Elected to go on his own, which was probably the right decision, but he made a mess of it. Watch it.
This is Jerd. Jerd, that's a better run from Jerd. Tries to unload, but they slam him down. Tessman and Brown. Tessman trying to get the hand out. Mortimer can't handle, knocks it on. Now Meninga for Queensland. Out of one, Meninga. There's an overlap for Miles. Chance for Queensland. Still going, the ball out wide. This is Stacey. Stacey in from Queensland try. And listen to the crowd. They go up. A great try from Stacey. There's the kick. The match Krilic, a bit of desperation. Up they go for it. Murray takes it magnificently for Queensland inside their 22. This is Tessman. Tessman still going, the big fella. If he can unload, he gets it out to Mitch Brennan. Mitch Brennan's put it in the overdrive. They won't get him. Brennan underneath the post. Oh, my, what a try. And the Queenslanders go mad.
Yes, again, feeble defence, but the short ball from Tessman's amazing. Just sits it up for Brennan. Beautifully done. And it's only a matter of him going to the line. No one can catch him. Very quick, Brennan. Great try. The New South Wales defence are standing, waiting to see what they're doing.
Fulham Smith from dummy half. Last tackle for Queensland. Lewis, a drop goal. Is there nothing this fellow can't do? Well, 21-0 the score.
And Arthur, they're looking to unload all the time.
Well, they've got time. You see, the defence is not up to meet them. They're waiting for them to come to them, and of course they've got plenty of time to do what they want with the ball.
Tedescu. Murray. Murray
Murray flicks a pass back inside. Niebling takes it. Almost a line. He'll score. Queensland it again. Oh, listen to the crowd.
Yeah, it's a great try. Just a simple run around, and Brett Kenny up again too quick, allowed Murray to go in behind him. Poor pass there from Murray, but magnificently picked up by Niebling, and a great try.
Now Max Pilic, a little scamper. It's the halfway mark you see there. Mortimer. Kevin Hastings. Now Cronin, there's a gap. And the Blacks go for a scamper. Clever play, it's back inside. New South Wales on the attackers. Kenny got it away to Anderson. And hello, the Blues have scored. It started here with Mortimer able to offload for Hastings. And finally, Horry selected Cronin, who made the long break. A flick pass inside to Gurr, then picked up by Kenny.
Kenny in particular here stood the defence up, drew three, and then unloaded to Anderson, who went over.
Hunt takes it up to the almost to the quarter line. Last tackle for the Blues. Hastings. That bomb is down Colin Scott's throat. Doesn't take it cleanly. Mortimer's got it, and Mortimer's in for a try. A very soft try in the end, but Mortimer is in for New South Wales. Oh, there go the Crackers again. At 6 tries to 2, they'll be running out of Crackers at this rate.
Brown and Testman, the tacklers.
There's no support there anyway. There's no one coming off him short or trying to back up.
She's brought him up. 37-12, Queensland lead. They go to the blind side to Kenny. Kenny unloads to Gurr. Gurr puts a good pass up for Anderson. Anderson in for a try. Waited for the referee's signal in. And Anderson in, and another bunger goes off.
Yes, I think this switch of players worked a couple of times now for the breaks to be made, and it's been mainly Marty Gurr that's been doing it well. Good try there to Anderson.
Moves into it. Certainly got the height, got the distance, and gets the 2 points to a magnificent kick from Mick Cronin.
Neil Hunt back to Mortimer, now to Kenny. And here's Marty Gurr. Arthur, you were saying what a fine game he's having, and he's into the clear. The kick through, a race for the ball. That's a great kick from Gurr. Kenny's there for it, but so's Stacey for Queensland. Oh, Stacey's gone without it. It's picked up by Ella. Ella running around the defence. A long ball for Anderson. There's number 3 for Chris Anderson.
Yeah, very bad mistake here by Stacey. And it was just a matter of dashing and darting and unloading wide for Anderson to take the ball and go over.
Another beautiful pass found Testman. Back it goes to Scott, but he's gone without it. Marty Gurr can't handle it. Stacey's picked it up. He's thrown it away. Nobody wants it. The finalist wants the tap. They want more tries. One of the few passes that didn't find a player. Here's Miles. It doesn't matter. Miles has scored. Watch it. That long pass. It bounced once. Miles juggled it. Stepped off his left foot. The line was open, and Miles easily in for yet another try.
Well, that's disgraceful football from New South Wales.
6 tries to 3, and Queensland have won the series for the 4th time in a row. And back in Sydney, everyone's asking, can they ever be beaten?
And the band's playing Waltzing Matilda as a huge crowd here at Lang Park has just broken the gates. Desperate to get in to watch the action. A bumper crowd at Lang Park has broken the gates outside. Have a look at them. The Queensland team, and with the exception of little twinkle toes Kerry Bowstead, what a thumping big back line it is. New South Wales and the Parramatta connection dominating the back line. Big Eric Groth, Ella, Kenny, Sterling, and with their brand of pace and class, they'll be planning to run their heavier opponents right off their feet.
Referee Roberts blows time on. The State of Origin series is underway. Colin Scott brings it out from the in-goal area. Canescu. Borton. Met by Cleo, losing the ball. New South Wales have it. Kenny. Here's Ella. Close has him. Meninga over the top. Eric Groth, dummy half. Kenny, now Craig Young. Look at the Queensland defence. 3 of them, and referee Roberts has issued a caution, and it's against Dave Brown. Dave Brown, number 11, watch him. Oof. A right uppercut. Eskew is the dummy half with Borton. Now it's with Lewis. Back inside for Brown. Shoulder charge from Queel. Now quickly the New South Wales forces rally. Here's Miles. Miles in the clear. Miles to the corner line. Inside pass for Buddy Borton. And Queensland are there. Paul Borton in to score alongside the post. Well, put that down to Gene Miles. He's the former footballer, in fact, in Brisbane. He got out of that tackle. Look how quickly Borton sensed the gap there. He was there to support him. The pass from Miles was a beauty. And Paul Borton over alongside the post to level the scores at 4-all.
This is Dowling. They say he's the toughest prop in Brisbane. Eskew. Lewis with a switch of play. And now the runners come through. Miles with a good pass. Can't be handled by Close. Buddy Morton picks it up. Oh, puts an elbow up too. Hard player. The kick from Queensland. Stabs for the line. It's a good kick too. Oh, it's a beauty.
Lewis, up it goes. Anybody's ball. Jack jumps for it. It's loose. It's a try. Gary Bostad is there.
Well, it looks simple to start with, but then to have a bomb with such accuracy, you've got to be in a good field position to execute it. And when I went up with all those people there, it was just a free ball whoever got it.
Eskew. This is Dowling. Out of one, Dowling. They come back and get him and put him down. Bostad though. Bostad with some room to move. The fence comes through Pearce. What a beautiful tackle. But still they raid away. This is Wally Lewis. He's in. Oh, Lewis is in again. Well, Queensland kept the momentum going. Lewis had a look, saw it on the blind side, dived over and does it every match. He's a clever footballer.
Last tackle for the Blues. Sterling. Finding Price. Price. Back inside for Sterling. Sterling's got support too in Pearce. Back it goes for Price. And Price is... Yes, he's just short of the line. So close.
Ella doing a lot of tackling for little man. Niebling. Up it goes from Lewis. Right at the post again. They go up for it. And New South Wales taken by Gary Jack.
He's put it up there, and every time he puts it in the air, he's given the Queensland a chance to make some points.
Cole Field will take the drop from under the post for New South Wales. Taken by Fullerton Smith. .32 metres out, Queensland. Eskew, there's the half-time hooter. Lewis will take a drop shot for goal. It's high. And it's there. Lewis has done it again. And Queensland go at half-time with a commanding lead. 15 points to 6.
Queensland will like to, the way things are going. Here's Pearce making a bust up to the corner line. Flick pass inside for Kenny. And still keeping it alive. Here comes New South Wales. He's right. Wright will take the tackle just on the 10-metre mark. Now, what can the Blues do? Touched again, 6 more tackles. Sterling back inside for Cleel. Cleel slipping though, 5 metres out.
That's Cleel. That's 4 tackles gone. Sterling out to Thompson. Thompson with Hetherington. Hetherington trying to run some room. Oh, but pretty close to touch and taken by Close. Ella. Sterling. Run around with Ella. Gets it to Young. Throws a wild one back, cleaned up by Thompson. This is Kenny. Kenny gets it to Price. Loose pass right. Gets it away to Roach. A chance. Noel Cleel. Noel Cleel's in for New South Wales. And boy, oh boy, do they need that one. And Young, that was the loose pass. Came back to Kenny. Now, Kenny straightened it up.
got it away to Price, and that was the nice pass. Got it to Wright, pretty lucky for Wright. He got it away. Roach cleared it quickly. And there he is, the big man, and made sure he improved the position. That's good football.
Back with Murray. Now Lewis. Meninga. And it goes to Bostad. He's got a clear passage. Has he got the pace? Murray steps inside Jack and scores! Here's how it happened. This was Murray. The pass on to Lewis. And Lewis's pass again to Meninga. Meninga's beautiful hands onto Bostad. He had a clear passage. Where was his opposite number? And Bowie saw the line, stepped inside Jack's tackle, not held, and over to score. To put Queensland 19, New South Wales 12. This is Wright. Last tackle for the Blues. Thompson. Hetherington. Now Conlon. Hetherington backing up. Can't beat that tackle of Bostad. On the Queensland corner line. Oh, they put it down. Pat Jarvis gone without the ball. Goodness me, that picture tells it all. 19-12, Queensland leading New South Wales. Scott, away it goes to Miles. He's in to score. How easy it is.
Well, Lewis is just handballing it back. If he can't take the pass, he handballs it. Again, he passes. Kicks for Bostad. Bostad takes it, and that's the icing on the cake. Bostad in again for Queensland. They're going mad, this big crowd. Look at it. Up it goes. And we saw them rehearsed at a training yesterday, and Bostad's pulled it off. Up it goes. This one looks better. He's got it up this time. It's all over. There's the hooter. They storm on. Queensland convincingly defeating New South Wales 29 points to 12.
So Queensland take a 1-0 lead in the series yet again, as we return to the Sydney Cricket Ground for the all-important second encounter. New South Wales have made 4 changes, with Andrew Farrar making his state debut, along with Terry Lamb, who takes over from Alan Thompson at 5'8". Queensland, full of confidence, however, retain their winning side.
Barry Gomersall, a controversial figure. His first match at the Sydney Cricket Ground. We're underway in the State of Origin match number 2. And this is Colin Scott. Getting to the quarter line before he's put down by Farrar. Gene Miles is looking to kick, but the New South Wales defence swarming in, and it's already on. Punches being thrown from everybody. That's Chris Close in there. Brett Kenny's involved as well. On the ground is Brent Gillespie. Ray Price, all trading blows. Well, Jack Gibson, what an explosive start to this match.
They advertised it early in the week, this situation would happen.
Well, the referee's allowed it to go on. Chris Close has lost his jumper. Fireworks falling from the sky. What a start to this State of Origin match. Barry Gomersall has often been quoted as saying that he's here to referee the game, not a fight. But who's going to stop the fight?
Ray Price. And inside the 22, New South Wales, a chance for the Blues now. Here's Cleal. 3 defenders, though, for Queensland. Dowling, Brown, and Fullerton Smith. Now they spin it. Terry Lamb, the little chip over the top. Bouncing in the in-goal area, but Lewis just punches it out. Let's have a look at this again. Here's Lamb. Gets through that defence. Now he chips over the top. There's the high tackle. That's what the penalty was for. Lamb really belted down after he kicked that ball.
Now here's Eric Grove. Jack Gibson said he's got to run straight. Well, he's running a bit straighter and able to get out of one over the halfway mark. Back for Lewis. Spins over Conlon's head, and that's a good kick from Lewis. Well, first time that he's been able to find touch, and he's found it just about 35 metres out.
Finescue will play it about 5 metres out from the New South Wales line. Third tackle for Queensland. Long flatter out for Chris Close. Standing up, but Jack there over the top wraps him up with Terry Lamb underneath. Gene Miles now. This is Lewis. Dowling onto Murray's put it down. Canescu falls on it.
It looked like another one of those drop kicks that said play on earlier.
But this time, Jack, he's going to put a scrum down.
Well, he's made a difference.
Only about 15 metres out from the New South Wales line. The last tackle, Lewis will put the bomb in the air. Perfectly positioned bomb for Gary Jack, who takes it nicely, and he's caught in his own in-goal area. But gee whiz, there was some pressure there for Jack. Not only was the ball slippery and heavy, but he had all these Queenslanders following him through. That's a good effort, Jack.
He had plenty offside too. He had to contend with that. He done fine.
Well,
Meter. So,
how would you feel? Well, Arthur Beetson has his fingers crossed, believe me. That look says it all. Why? Now Meninga shouldn't have any difficulty at all, and it's right between the posts. So Queensland have hit the front. They lead New South Wales 2 points to 0.
Simmons, Mortimer, Noel Cleal makes the bust. Can't unload though. Ooh, and a swinging arm from Niebling. He's lost the ball and Lewis comes away with it. So changing fortunes here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Canescu to Lewis. Niebling looks to unload, loses the ball. Meninga falls on it. The crowd again not happy.
only went a yard forward. It wasn't that bad.
Ball up from Lewis. Good kick too. He puts it right up on the upright all the time. It's gone loose. Gary Jack falls on it though. Lewis's kicks are so accurate.
Queensland leading 2 points to 0. Darryl Eastlake.
Thanks, Ian, as Colin Scott takes it up. Queensland had a mammoth share of possession this second half so far. They've had New South Wales pinned in their own half for a long, long time. Good defence, Jack Gibbs, under these conditions.
Well, that's all they've got left. All we're going to see now is some exciting 2-yard runs.
Dave Brown's put back for an exciting 2-yard run. Canescu, Lewis turns it back inside this time to Niebling. Niebling unloads. Chance for Queensland as Canescu takes it up. They're only 5 metres out. Last tackle for Queensland. Lewis, a little chip. Whoa, it bounces off the upright, and they're in! Dowling has gone in, and it's off a Lewis kick, and that's got to be luck. It came off the post, went back into the field of play. Dowling scooped it up and went in for Queensland.
Certainly a great catch of Dowling's. The presence of mind even to hold this ball. Tremendous effort. He took it clean.
Now it's back for Lewis, and he returns the kick. Gary Jack gives it to Growth. Growth across field, out of one, starting to straighten now, losing his balance, but made some good yardage. Took play almost to the halfway mark. Listen to the applause from the crowd. This crowd is now sensing a New South Wales revival. Could it be a rebirth of the Blues? And look at the defence. Mortimer wants it. Lewis won't give it to him. I want to try and hang on to the ball as long as they possibly can now. There's only 10 minutes to go. Queensland leads 8 points to 2. New South Wales need that football, and they need it in the Queensland half. Queensland has sent on a replacement. Bob Lindner is on the sideline, ready to come on. This is Gary Jack, though, with the football. Caught nicely by Chris Close, but running across field, Jack Gibson.
They continually run. So if they can cut, if they run that angle straight upfield, Queensland have a straight line of defence.
Here comes Steve Ella. He's running straight and he's losing the football, though. Close now, only about 6 or 7 metres out from the New South Wales line. Canescu getting dangerously close to the line. That's the line you see there. Back for Murray, now to Lewis, now to Dowling. But he's finally upended. Last tackle for Queensland. Will we see a field goal now? No, we won't. It's just Miles. Miles is looking for the line, and he's there. G. Miles is in. Well, that was how simple it was from the dummy half. Miles picked it up. Boyle was clinging to him, Jarvis was there, Jack was there, but they couldn't stop him.
It's proven here tonight that they're the better side in this series, Queensland. They've played strong and they've...
Strong they were, Jack. Strong enough to wrap up the series 2-0, with only pride left for New South Wales to salvage at the Lang Park graveyard.
And here is the Queensland side. Some new faces tonight. Former Manly speedster Johnny Revo on one wing, with Brett French, number 4, replacing the injured Gene Miles in the centre. At 5'8", Wally Lewis will be up against Brett Kenny, the man who took that spot off him in the all-conquering Australian Kangaroo team in 1982. New South Wales, number 1, the fullback Gary Jack. Number 2, slippery Stevie Morris on the wing. In the centres, a real new pairing, Mortimer and Brian Johnson, with the trusty goal kicker Ross Conlon on the flank. Tonight, Kenny returns to 5'8", the partner Steve Mortimer, and your commentator, Ian Maurice.
Thanks, Mike. The last representative game for the year underway. Kerry Bostad, first touch of the football, caught just 12 metres out from his own line. It's certainly a new look New South Wales side, and some new old faces in the Queensland lineup as well. Look at that defence swarming in on Dave Brown, just on the Queensland quarter line. Here's Lewis. Jack was covering the other touch line. He's had a lot of ground to make up, and he's made a mess of it too, finally getting to it. Running across field, out of Linda's tackle. Finally pulled down. Kenny. Short ball for Gary Jack. Caught around the ankles by Dowling. Now Steve Mortimer again. Kicking to the open spaces. Colin Scott is there for it. Takes it just on his own quarter line. Out of 2. Straightening and getting for another one. Colin Scott got support too from Canescu. Some pretty ordinary defence then from the Blues. They lead 4 points to 0. Queensland backs are going to go. Linda running wide with it. Now a pass for Bostad. Dancing around Conlon, Dowie. Slipping a pass to Lewis. Onto Linda again. Gary Jack back for the ball and just able to take it on his own line for danger for New South Wales. Well, Ross Henry came chasing the kicker and he was injured, but they caught the fullback Scott. He's able to go to Revo. Revo trying to get away from Morris. Meninga's got the football down the touchline. Johnson across in cover. Mortimer across in cover, and Mortimer's got him. Beautiful tackle from Steve Mortimer. Here's Meninga. Meninga out of one. Meninga for the line. Got a pass back to Hendrick, and Hendrick scores. No try. No try. Referee Roberts has ruled a forward pass.
Making valuable yardage inside the 22. Lewis out wide, flicks a long ball out from Meninga. Good ball up for Bostad. Bostad touching on his toes. There it again. Queensland knows out about this time. Great try from the Queenslanders.
Well, Linda stood up Jack on that occasion, but he shouldn't have got as far as he did. But he missed him cold.
Brings the ball back to the halfway line for New South Wales. Oh, and put down with a big tackle there. Oh, Meninga and Brett French just picked him up and dumped him. This is Conlon. New South Wales with a bit of room to move. Johnston with a nice ball away to Conlon. Conlon turns it back inside to Kenny. Kenny wrapped up though. Play almost to the 22. Kevin Roberts telling Queensland to get back to 5. Mortimer sees a little gap. Mortimer puts on the base, unloads the ball. Chance for New South Wales, and Johnston's in. Wait for it, and that's a try.
He cuts in here, gets a release. It's a great pass.
Nice pass from Kenny then too. Johnson scoring. In the air, waved away. Scoreline remains New South Wales leading Queensland 8 points to 6. Here's Johnston. Scored just prior to half-time for New South Wales. Plays it back to Wynn. Out for Mortimer. On to Kenny. Here's Gary Jack up in the back line. Gary Jack is busted it too. Got a bit of support. That was Jarvis. Slipped the ball through to Mortimer. Mortimer unloads. Mortimer. There's another quick pass. And there's still kicking live, and it's gone astray. This is Walsh. Dowling over the top. Bullock Smith underneath.
Well, they're going to a kicking situation here.
There's the kick. Right, spot on, loose ball too. And that's a try. Yes, that's a try.
Well, he kicked the ball field, but at start he didn't look like he's going to chase, and as an afterthought he put on some speed, and he's made 6 points out of it.
With 22 minutes of play remaining, it's 18-6 New South Wales lead. Henrik to Maminga, cutting out two with a pass to Bostand. Bowie almost through. Lost his shoe in the play. Back to Henrik. Now to Dave Brown, out of line. Dave Brown in the clear to the halfway mark, but Mortimer, the big man and the little man, clash. And the penalty has gone to New South Wales, I believe, and Dave Brown's been given the sin bin. 10 minutes in the sin bin for using an elbow. Watch this. There's the elbow, up in defence on the little man, and 10 minutes in the sin bin to Dave Brown. Here's Cleal. Cleal. So close to the line, Noel Cleal. He's gone close on a number of occasions. Now here's Lewis. He's gone without it. Picked up by Kenny. There's an overlap out here. Johnson's got it. Johnson for the line. Johnson's in for try number 2. And that came from that mistake from Lewis. Losing the ball. Kenny was able to pick it up. And the pass out to Johnson. Out of one tackle and out of the tackle by Curry. Over for the try. Cross for Henrik, the bomb. Pressure here for Jack. Hit the upright. But Jack's taken it magnificently. Solid as a rock. Up he went high. Tucked it into his chest.
This is Lewis inside. Plenty of runners going. Dave Brown. Brought down about 8 metres out from the line, and the Blues in trouble. Queensland coming hard. Look at Lewis. Here's a big pass. Going to Boasted. Boasted scored. And Queensland put some points on the board. See it again. Look at Lewis. Sets it up. Sees Bowie was unmarked. Got around Conlon and went over line. And Queensland back in it. This kick very important. Stabs at it. And he gets it. And a great kick from Maminga. Scoreline now. 22 points to 12.
Did I say Queensland led 22-12? Well, I'm in Brisbane. That's New South Wales leading.
That was last week.
Last week. Here's Morris. Morris beautifully away to Johnson. A quick pass back inside. It's gone away to Potter. And Potter's in, but the try, no, it was disallowed. Well, referee Roberts has ruled another pass gone forward. As the countdown begins, 5 seconds remaining. Queensland with the scrum. Lewis will kick and put it deep downfield. Everybody's on the field. The kids are invading. The siren sounding. And they've grounded the ball over the line. And look at the kids and the celebration.
So New South Wales have saved the whitewash, but have lost the series since it began 4 years ago. Could 85 be the year of the Blue?
And there they are, the Queensland team. Colin Scott, number 1 at fullback. On the wings, Manly winger Dale Shearer and former Manly winger Johnny Rebo. The man all eyes will be on again tonight, Queensland's mighty 5'8", Wally Lewis, the only player in Australia to have played in all 11 State of Origin games. And there they are, the enemy, the interlopers, the invaders from the south, New South Wales with a brilliant young tiger, Gary Jack, number 1 at fullback. Two of the finest wingers in the code, Eric Grove and Johnny Ferguson, with former Rugby Union international, the flying Michael O'Connor in the centres.
We're underway with the Winfield State of Origin series for 1985. And it's down for Shearer to take it on his own quarter line. The first few tackles will be heavy as you've seen all year. Dave Brown back with Lewis immediately, kicking downfield to the wide open spaces. Gary Jack is there to pick it up. He gets to the halfway mark now and he's crunched to the ground inside Queensland territory. There's a punch on, back in the first tackle on the quarter line. There's punches being exchanged as the ball spins along the New South Wales back line. It's out with Michael O'Connor. O'Connor has got it all the way to Eric Grove. Eric Grove caught beautifully by the hero of Lang Park, Wally Lewis. Back in centre stage though, the punches are still being thrown. Touch judges are in. Stephen Roach in the centre of things.
Queensland ball.
And plenty of rucker defence going on. The ball's loose and it's on again. Oh, and there's some headbutting in there too. McCabe is involved. Gary Jack is in position. They've gone the blind side through Growth. Growth powering his way downfield, but is tackled 4 or 5 metres out. Gary Jack at dummy half. He goes from there. Slips in the conditions. Wrapped up tightly though through Shearer. Back it comes. Across the line, Mortimer. Quick pass out now to Kenny. Kenny off the ground, gets it back to Mortimer. The crowd with that. That's a Lewis pass from Mortimer. Here's Ferguson. Ferguson's heading for the line. He gets them all the way to O'Connor. O'Connor back to Mortimer. He's wrapped up with Chris Close. It's a big defence. Crunch down. Mortimer now plays it back to O'Connor. O'Connor looking for the line, but he's belted in the touch. Pinescu. Pinescu back to Murray with a floater over for Lewis. Now there's Borton. Borton cuts out one, gives it to Meninga. Meninga puts it in the gear. Over halfway line, he's taken by Growth, and a great tackle from Growth. He wrapped him up, ball and all. Danger then from Queensland on the attack. Now this is Lewis. Starts to scheme. This is Bobby Linder. Stands and is belted down by New South Wales. Fourth tackle for Queensland. Lewis. Lewis unloads the Dowling. Dowling almost through the gap. He is. He's still going and slips a great ball away to Fatty Borton. And Borton inside New South Wales 22. Lost the ball though as they come away with Growth now. West Game played at a fierce pace. Taking his time now. There it goes. Ball in the air. It's a low kick, but he's got it. So Queensland level. It's 2-all at Lang Park.
Pinescu rides him into the ground. But they're only 9 metres out. Elias from dummy half. He's going himself. But a penalty has gone to New South Wales. Now, Michael O'Connor from the St George Club in Sydney hits it and makes no mistake. The Blues have hit the front again. New South Wales 4, Queensland 2 at Lang Park. Out of Kenny. Gary Jack into the back line, almost out of one. Can he slip the pass? He can. It's picked up by Junior Pearce. A one-handed pass is scooped up by Mortimer. By Kenny at least. Kenny to the line. Kenny, is he there? No, he's just short. How close can you go? He's got to play the ball quickly. But he can't. He's to his feet now. Elias, back to Steve Mortimer. The bomb, hanging in the air. Who's got it? It's bouncing. Anybody's ball. Dowling and McCabe. Who's got it? Queensland have it. New South Wales missed the opportunity. 4-2. They need a break, Darryl. Back with Murray. Now to Lewis. Turning the ball back nicely for Shearer. As already there's a punch on. Players trading punches. Borton's in there. So's Wally Lewis. Pearce. I think that Pearce and Lewis may have been...
And the Blues do it right away, and they're only 10 metres out now. Noel Cleal fires it out to Mortimer now. Mortimer gets it on to Pearce. Pearce keeping it alive. This is O'Connor. Good ball over the top for Gary Jack. Gets it on to Ferguson. Ferguson steps, and he's almost there, but belted down by the Queensland defence. Great play from both sides.
4-2. The Blues have got their nose in front. 10 minutes of play gone in the second half. Here's Pearce. Unloading away to Kenny. Running off him is Mortimer. Here come the Blues. O'Connor's got it. The line's there. O'Connor scores. New South Wales are in. Michael O'Connor is in to score. Here it is. That was the dummy from Elias. And it was Pearce. Pearce took the tackle. Offloaded. It was a beautiful pass from Kenny. Away it went to Mortimer. And then O'Connor brushing aside one tackle. Saw the line. No stopping the boy from St George. He was in to score. And now here's Queensland in possession just outside their own quarter. And it's going to take a huge effort from the Maroons to come back, but Meninga getting a nice pass away to Rebo. Rebo's beaten Ferguson, slipping it back to Murray. What a game of football for you at Lang Park. You're watching it live right throughout the Nine Network on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Lewis getting it across to Borton. A long pass out to Dowling. Handballing it on to Linder. Linder over halfway. A kick ahead from Linder. A chase for the ball. Look, Gary Growth is there for it. And Growth loses it. And what is referee Roberts' rule? Well, he's ruling that New South Wales have it.
And Queensland almost back to the halfway here, Maurice.
Gee, they're really putting it up in New South Wales now, coming back strongly, aren't they? Here's Lewis, switching play to Brown. Now Meninga, he's busted another one, the big fellow. Still going Meninga, inside pass for Linda. Linda to the corner line, but Jack Tankle taps him, and he's passed it to Eric, to Ferguson. Johnny Ferguson has taken it and saved the day. Boy, Jack Gibson, this is a great game of football.
Well, Ferguson's hurt. It's pretty...
The Blues lead 12-2. Now it's across for McCabe. Lost the ball, picked up by Kenny for New South Wales. Kenny out of one. Kenny saw the line. The overhead pass is across, and they're in again. New South Wales in again. It was O'Connor, Kenny at least, who picked up the loose pass. The overhead pass was beautifully positioned for O'Connor, but a clear passage to the line in the score.
Now the line to work, a bit of room to move. Look at Tunks, was brand new jumper just a few moments ago. He's certainly been in the action since he's been on the field. He'll play it back to Jarvis. Jarvis to Mortimer. Mortimer, the little chip over the top. He follows. He was taken down, but let's follow the ball. And Roach just flicks it up for Jarvis. He's lost the ball. Bobby Linden comes up with the ball. And they'll play on. Well, Mortimer was taken after that kick, but the referee said play on. There's the kick. Watch the action. Bang. Oh, taken hard and high was our Steve. O'Connor, 4 from 5, 2 tries. A magnificent debut for O'Connor. The representative rugby league, former international rugby union player. He gets the height and the distance again, and he's got the points again. So O'Connor has kicked so well tonight, and he's scored all of the points for New South Wales.
Yes, thanks to Michael O'Connor, New South Wales off on the right foot, and with a smell of victory in the nostrils, come home to the Sydney Cricket Ground to attempt their first ever series victory.
Okay, the New South Wales team, number 1, the fullback Gary Jack. The wingers Eric Grape and Johnny Ferguson. The match winner in the first State of Origin series match in Brisbane, Michael O'Connor, scored all our 18 points. Number 7, Stevie Mortimer, halfback and captain. Now let's have a look at the Queensland team. Number 1, the fullback Colin Scott. Big Johnny Rebo had a good game on the wing up there in Brisbane. And Manly's Dale Shearer on the other wing. 2 huge centres in Meninga and Close. Wally Lewis, the key to the whole game as usual. Number 6, the 5'8" and captain. Mark Murray, the halfback, and the new forward in the team, Wally Fullerton-Smith.
The head-to-heads now. Queensland 8, New South Wales 4 in the series at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Queensland 2, New South Wales 1. Time on now to round 2 of the battle continues of the Winfield series for the State of Origin. Ball goes deep, picked up by Colin Scott. Brought back 10 metres, 12 metres out and belted down by the New South Wales defence. Peter Wynn leading the charge there again. Wynn comes in pretty hard. Already a penalty goes to Queensland though. Listen to the crowd. New South Wales inside the 5.
Finally, Kinescu plays it to Lewis. Across it comes to Murray. Standing and offloading to Brown. Back to Lewis again. Queensland on the attack. The ball has gone out down to Linda. Linda down the touchline. Go, they bombed it. Queensland bombed it. Meninga had it and lost it.
He coughed it up, but I doubt if he could have got the thing down in time, but Sally made a pretty smart run. That's when he got the ball to Meninga.
Kick from Queensland. Jack waiting for it. The bounce is awkward for him though. And he's finally 15 metres out from his own line. Can he beat the Queensland tacklers? No, he can't. Shearer's there with Dowling, but he's still able to slip that pass away to Ferguson. Ferguson's beaten one. Down the touchline goes Fergo, but he's caught though by Murray. Great run from the New South Wales winger Ferguson. Now it's with Cleo. New South Wales full of running now. 32 metres out. It's with Steve Mortimer. Across it goes to Kenny. The long floating pass for Grape, and he's juggling it. And just pulled down outside the Queensland quarter. Steve Mortimer, now to Jarvis. Still able to keep the ball alive. Across to Kenny. Now to O'Connor. Inside Queensland's quarter. New South Wales desperately throwing the ball about from one side of the field to the other. Great entertaining stuff as Roach takes on the Queensland defence and is put down 12 metres out. New South Wales, Darryl, really throwing the ball about well.
Certainly are keeping it alive. Here's Mortimer putting it in the air now. Another good kick too. Up they go forward, and it's a New South Wales take. Look at Lewis, not happy with that, but it was a great take.
It was Kenny that went up high, went above the pack. Took it well, they put it up in the air again. Up they go again, it's a try! Chris Mulliner scored for the Blues, and that was on the second kick. Great football from the Blues.
Watch out, Queensland. Watch out, Queensland.
Well, that was a combination of great plays leading up to the punt because they put plenty of pressure on Queensland.
Big defence from Wally Lewis. Out it comes to Mortimer. There's a little chip over the top. Mortimer will regain. He does so too and fights it out to Peter Wynn. Wynn puts on the pace. He unloads. It's interfered by Queensland. Taken by O'Connor. Oh, and a big heavy knocked in from O'Connor as he rolled over. And the Queensland player certainly caught it. But New South Wales looks sensational with the ball. They want to run it. They want to score points. Out it goes again. Pearce floats one out wide. Gets it to Kenny. Kenny puts it in the second gear, but caught by the defence. Gets it out to Eric Grace. Goes through one. But it's Lewis. He gets up and gets out of the tackle. And Rebo comes back and gets him inside the 22.
Well, it takes more than one to get him. He really busts him up quick.
Takes more than one to get Mortimer too. A great run from Mortimer to take play inside Queensland territory. Jarvis to play the ball now. Mortimer again, linking up with Peter Wynn. And now they're only 32 metres out from the Queensland line as Elias runs from dummy half. He's in the clear, Elias! He's going to score! Right underneath the post, Benny Elias, you little beauty! He moved into the dummy half position. Watch it with us. Ran to the right. They just looked at him. A dummy. And lo and behold, the line was there for him. And right underneath the post, the hand goes up in salute, and Benny Elias goes in for the Blues' second try.
Murray out to Meninga. Good pass on to big Chris Close. He unloads it to Shearer. Shearer flicks it back to Murray, and this is going to be a Queensland try. Make no mistake, Bobby Linder under the post, and that was just keeping the ball alive, and it was man on man, and they won the race for the line.
Well, the big play here came from Chrissy Close. He broke a tackle, stood in it, making a couple extra yards, got the ball away. And it's probably simple stuff the next two. But Linda, who anticipated something happening, was the man that they were looking for.
So scoreline now reads New South Wales 12, Queensland 6.
Just about a minute and a half of play remaining in this first half. Is Koneski with nowhere to go. A one-handed pass for Wally Lewis. Lewis is in the clear. Lewis is up to the corner line, looking for support. He throws the dummy, and he's just short of the line, Lewis. Fine run from the Queensland captain. Now desperation stuff for New South Wales as Queensland right away. And the referee has ruled a changeover. 6 tackles have gone. Back with Lewis. And a beautiful tackle on Murray there by Kenny. Picked up by Lewis. The Meninga. Back to Lewis. Back to Brown. Brown is only about 8 metres out from the New South Wales line. Danger time now. It's with Dowling. Dowling going on his own, flicking the ball back inside for French. And French is there. Queensland has scored. Scores a level, Jack.
Well, certainly a confident play from Dowling. He's done some great plays over the years, but this one was probably one of his best. He held that ball up and got an inside shot, round the corner pass, straight into French's hands.
Ferguson now. Ferguson out of 1. Does a bit of a dance, Ferguson. Out of 2. Out of 3. He's still going, Ferguson, and gets a good ball up for Pearson. Back to Ferguson. Now the little man opens up, turns it back inside, and they head for the line, New South Wales. And good defence from Queensland, bring him down 10 metres short. The Blues on fire at the moment. They've got Queensland stretched out. Well, there's a penalty to New South Wales because they wouldn't let him play it. Chris Close held him down. 3 tackles used up. Elias now gets it to Mortimer. Mortimer out to Kenny. But the defence is there. 4 tackles used. Kenny trying to play it. They're laying on him again through Chris Close. Mortimer puts a little chip kick through. Well bounced and he's been brought down. A penalty to New South Wales. It is. Here's Mortimer now. Chip kicks. The idea was there, and bang, there it goes. Crunch, he goes down hard, and that's a sitter now for New South Wales, Ian Maurice.
I think that old Steve would have went down whether he's hit or not, just in case.
No problems for O'Connor. We're all tied up at the cricket ground, 14 points all. Right on the halfway mark. 14 points all here at the cricket ground. Now Steve Mortimer linking up with Wayne Pearce. Pearce gives a pass to Growth. Growth, it pushes everybody out of the way. Still going, Growth. Back inside, put a foot in touch. Put a foot in touch.
Well, the attack was great here, but the defence of Vorton on that occasion to cover all those yards and to stop that try was sensational.
Well, here it is, and look, you watch him if he puts his foot in touch. And, well, they got rid of it before he threw it out. And the crowd watching the replay with us, let the touch judge know what they think of that decision.
That was a great effort there. He stood Wally Lewis up, but Wally's he's not healthy at all. He's crook. He reached out at full length, and all he had to do was just pull it over.
And look at Steve Mortimer. Ecstasy, pure heaven. Michael O'Connor makes no mistakes. New South Wales 21 over Queensland 14 in the dying moments of this State of Origin match. And there it is. There it is. Referee Gomersall blows full time. And how sweet it is. Steve Mortimer's face tells it all. New South Wales 21, Queensland 14. The Blues wrap up the State of Origin series for the first time.
Welcome back to Lang Park Live, where the battle is resumed. Round 3 in the State of Origin series for 1985. And there he is, the hero of the Lang Park crowd, the captain of Queensland, Wally Lewis. Let's have a look at Wally's team. Number 1, the fullback, Colin Scott. Number 2, almost certainly having his last game for Queensland after a pretty successful season, Johnny Rebo. Dale Shearer is on the other wing with those two giants in the centres, Meninga and Close. The New South Wales team out for a whitewash tonight, trying to clean sweep the series. At fullback, wearing number 1, the man who's had such a great season, Gary Jack. On the wings, the slippery Johnny Ferguson and Big Eric Growth, with Michael O'Connor and Chris Mortimer in the centres.
Barry Gomersall says time on the Winfield series continues. The Battle of Lang Park. Queensland now bringing it up through Colin Scott, but the New South Wales defence meets him pretty hard and quickly too. And already New South Wales caught offside, and listen to the crowd as Gomersall gives Queensland the first penalty of the match.
Peter Wynn able to offload back to Elias. And he's found support too from Jarvis over the top for David Brooks. Brooks to the corner line. And support from Ferguson. Ferguson running strongly, but caught. Desperation tackling from Queensland as Fergo's caught only 3 metres out from the Queensland line. Mark Murray was able to get to him. Now to the right side goes Rhodes running off him as half back as the forward pass. Here it is. Yes, no question about that one.
Gary Jack bringing the ball back for New South Wales. The scoreline, Queensland 2 over New South Wales, with Gary Jack with a very good run there and brought it back to halfway. Great run from Jack. New South Wales this time with Ferguson. Ferguson gets out of 1, gets out of 2, loses the ball though. They're drafting their way down toward the 22 New South Wales. Kenny, there's the stab for the line from Kenny, and he'll find it too. That's a great kick from Brett Kenny. There's the pack weights for you. Queensland 551 kilograms, New South Wales 550, so nothing in it. There's the kick from Queensland out of the open spaces. No one there. Dale Shearer, if he can get a bounce, he'll score. Does he get the bounce? Yes, and he will score. And Dale Shearer's got in for Queensland, and that's a good try. Came from a kick to the open spaces, and Shearer picked it up with a great bounce and went in. Watch this, Colin Scott put the ball in the air. Can see the spaces were open now. New South Wales had to turn around. Shearer came and threw it 100 mile an hour, waited for the bounce, set himself up perfectly, and goes in for Queensland's first try.
Wayne Pearce playing it just inside Queensland territory, and again New South Wales putting it down. In fact, it was Rampling who put it down and gets a punch. And I've got the punch on already. Well, he doesn't waste any time Rampling in getting involved, does he? Lewis threw the ball at him, and it was Rampling who retaliated. Well, he's only been on a few seconds. Pushing and shoving.
Still
2 or 3 metres short of the halfway line. Comes back to Elias. He shows it. Runs from there. Bit of a hole to Elias, looking to link up. Now he gets the ball away, and O'Connor starts to put it into gear. O'Connor over inside the 22, and he's brought down 10 metres short, and that was better play. Elias saw the hole, and O'Connor backed him up with the balls in the touch.
But if they're going to play catch-up, they're not going to make it.
So from the scrum, Queensland have it. Broughton getting his way towards the quarter line. He gets a pass back to Scott. Scott put down only 10 metres out. Good stuff from Queensland. And they're on the attack now. Here's Murray and Lewis. Running off Lewis. Goes up French. French for the line, and French scores! Ian French in for Queensland. Linked up with Lewis, and then French came rushing onto that short pass from Lewis. Got out of David Brooks' tackle, and over the line he went for Queensland's second try. And this is Meninga's kick. The conversion attempt of French's try. Hits it and hits the upright and bounces through. So Queensland 12, New South Wales 0. Nathuela, Kenny, Mortimer. Mortimer got it away to Kenny. Kenny one-handed pass to O'Connor, who's put it down, picked up by Ian French for Queensland. French has got support too from Shearer. Shearer down the touchline, he's going to score. Shearer! Queensland are in again! Shut the gate, the horse has bolted. And here's how it happened. It came from a mistake from New South Wales, picked up by Ian French, who's had a very strong second half. When caught, offloaded beautifully to Shearer, who took the shortest way to the line, and that was straight ahead. Too much pace for David Brooks. And Shearer in for his second try to take Queensland to a 16 points to nothing lead.
He's had, well, a big game tonight. A wild floater out now for Tony Curry. Curry, another chance for Queensland. Curry gets it to Rebo. They won't get Rebo. Rebo's in again. Queensland just running away with the game now. Here's the pass from Lewis. Like a bullet, went out to Murray. Murray had a look. Saw that New South Wales are busted. Curry came onto it with a full commitment. He just determinedly looked for the line. He kept looking over for Rebo. Rebo positioned himself perfectly and just went straight and hard, the big man. And Queensland winning again to rub salt into the wound of New South Wales. Having a wrestling match with Wynn, plays it back to Canescu. It comes back for a little chip over the top from Murray. He's taken another dive, Murray. He's fair dinkum will get the Oscar tonight. But here's New South Wales through Pearce now. They flick it back to Ella. Ella won. Gets it into gear. Can the Blues put some points on the board? Ferguson has dummy half. They're at the 22. This is their chance. Ferguson now. Who can he link up with? Jarvis. He gets on to Jack. Jack's got nowhere to move. And he's belted down inside the 22. Jarvis dummy half. Goes to Ella. Ella now had Rampling coming hard and strong with a little short ball. They're about 15 metres out, the Blues. Can they put some points on the board? Ella looking for Kenny. Kenny now swerving, half falling, gets a great pass back to Ella. Ella now 10 metres out. Ella still going, and he'll score! Ella's in right beside the post. Here's Ella. Ella got it to Kenny. Now, Kenny had a swerving run. He went down, propped up a beautiful ball back to Ella. He just stood there, come out of the tackle, and went in right beside the post.
Now it's with Jarvis in the dying seconds. The countdown has begun. The kids are already on the field. And here comes the invasion. Well, they're already on, and there's another tackle to go. That's terrible. The referee, Gomesol's got no option but to call it off. So, the State of Origin series is over for another year. New South Wales wrap it up 2-1, but Queensland full of merit tonight. 20 points to 6.
Six years ago, the critics said it would never work. State against state, mate against mate. But boy, have we seen great action over the years. State of Origin football, the very best the big game has to offer.